Wake that ass up.
Get up and get turned up with DeDe in the morning.
We get wild a bit.
This is like one of those master classes. We are in a master class right now, one-on-one with Master P, and this is a blessing. When I tell y'all,
girl, it's a blessing. Man. Like I feel like honestly, you should start that. Like I was thinking a mentoring program, but Master P masterclass,
because
spot on. And you ain't even got to pay us nothing but 15%. See, we business women too.
Right? Yeah, because we created the idea right now. But here's my question to you. You know, when you look at what's going on, you know, you were one of the first, right? You were one of the first to do what you did. Also, in an era when we didn't have social media, because social media has elevated a lot of people, a lot of rappers, a lot of stuff of what they're doing. You had to really do it the hard way. But here's the question. When you look at Jay-Z, DeDe, Dre, Kanye, you know, billionaire status, when you look at some of them, who impresses you the most when it comes to their business acumen?
I would have to say Jay-Z. I would have to say Jay-Z because he's constantly building stuff outside of the music industry and outside what the typical hip hop mogul you would say. So he's getting into, you know, other things and other avenues and also giving back. I think that's important too. For me, the more I make, the more I give, and all of them is doing great. If you look at from Dre to Kanye to DeDe, everybody, you know, and that's what I love. We have to celebrate them all because everybody come from poverty. So, you know, this is a blessing to be able to see African-American men that come from hip hop being able to reach levels that we don't imagine. Because if you look at it, I look at who was one of the first billionaires, Black people that I know of, and you go back and look at is Reginald Lewis. Is a guy that made it in the grocery stores. He got the book out called Why Should White Guys Have All the Fun? But this guy did it in the 1960s and 70s, which is unheard of. And now look what we able to do. And it's a blessing. It's a blessing.
Do you call Jay-Z or Dre or any of those guys whenever you need, like, I mean, come on, you don't have all the answers. It's like you want to run something past somebody. Hey, man, I'm thinking about doing it. Do you call them for like...
Or do they call you?
Yeah, or do they call you?
You know what, to be honest with you, we have to put our egos to the side. And like I said, we're stronger together. You know, we all pick up the phone. We could call each other whenever we need each other. I think that's what's important to me. Like, I'm like, you know what, that we should be able to do that because other cultures are able to network.
Always.
Because everybody's stronger in certain areas. So and I think that's where the change gonna come from. Like we got to get past all that because all this success is temporary anyway. You can't take it with you.
Right.
I love that.
Now, before we let you go, we got to talk about New Orleans, and I want to know what is the one thing that we need, Lady Jade and I and everybody associated with the show, what is the one thing that we need to know about New Orleans and people from New Orleans?
Yeah, you know, people from New Orleans love crawfish. And if you want to get your hurricane, you got to go on Bourbon Street. You know, if you want to get you a good meal, you know, I like to go to Oceana's. So if you want to get you a good burger, you got to go to Big Papa's. That's my restaurant.
Okay, you know we got to stop at Big Papa's.
Go to Big Papa's. And then, you know, I mean, you want to get your hair fixed or whatever. It's so many great places in New Orleans for that. There's so much great food in New Orleans. And the people are just loving. Like when you're gonna find down to earth people, and you know, it's a lot of challenges that our people go through, but besides that, there's so much love, and that's why I love the city so much. And you guys gonna have a good time out there.
So you love the city so much, and you represent New Orleans well. Have you ever thought about political office? Anybody ever told you need to run for mayor and do all that?
I'm not into politics. I'm just into trying to help the next generation and feed the elderly. I'm more on that, and just help saving our people. It's about building a generational wealth for me.
Do you need any mentees? Like, are you looking to mentor? Because we are, or adopt. Really. You know, your son is moving out. You need, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I know you got room in the mansion for us, right? I know there got to be a room. Come on now.
I got y'all. Don't worry about that. I got y'all.
We appreciate that.
By the way, one of the things I'm sure you've learned too, when you talked about having the ceiling and the gold and this and that, do you still live in an overly big mansion, or have you downsized and you realize you don't even need half of that stuff? Or do you still live in the big mansion? You have a butler, all that?
You know what? I don't have a butler, nothing like that, but I do have a nice house. I have a nice house, and I mean, I got to treat myself for something. Like I say, you can't take this with you.
Right.
So, you know, I mean, my hard work, I have to be able to enjoy a little bit of it. So I don't do it like I used to do it. But I think I realized in life, because so when you're successful, anybody can make money, but you really have to educate yourself on financial literacy to realize how to keep it, to have the sustainability. And so I think now when I do it different, like if I want something nice, then I'm gonna create a business so I can go and buy something nice from that so it can pay for itself.
There you go.
So let me say one thing. You just said you talked about Reginald Lewis, right? And I'm familiar with him, and I'm a person who's been reading about wealth for a while. What would you say is, because I ended up just reading The Richest Man in Babylon. I've read Rich Dad Poor Dad back in the day. I've read, you know what I mean? Like the list goes on and on. What would you say is the number one book you would recommend to people listening, or the number one thing to watch to learn about wealth? What is it?
Now, I would recommend the Reginald Lewis book for us, but also I would recommend The Art of War. So you need to know what you know what's going on in the world, and when you understand the art of war, then you understand business, because it's a war, especially for us. They've been passing down money to descendants. We already behind, but our problem is that we keep dwelling on the past. We got to worry about the future. We can't change the past, but we can change the future. And I think what we get caught up in, where we come from. And my thing is, I can't change that. My thing is, I can educate this generation, and we could grow together to make a difference and change the future. And we need to understand economics and banking. They don't teach us that. And that's one of the things that I want to make sure this culture be able to understand. Once we know once we know economics and banking, we gonna be dangerous, because now we know what to do with money. We know how to spend money, you know, and we don't have to make all the mistakes that I had to make, and people that came before me. The next generation shouldn't have to make those mistakes.
Okay, last question. When are we gonna get the Master P pancake syrup, everything? When we getting it? When is it coming? I want it.
That's coming soon. I'm gonna tell you, it's coming soon. Right now, it's on the water.
Okay.
So hold on, real quick before you go, because we are obviously blessed and better because of this interview for today. Everybody listening.
Yes.
You mentioned food earlier. You got to tell us, what do you cook? Everybody got that one dish that is like, when you go in the kitchen, what is the one thing Master P cooks? I mean, it could be something.
I got the Uncle Pete fish fries, so I like to cook some fish and shrimp and, you know, get it right. You know what I'm saying? That's what I like to do.
We're just trying to figure out what we're having when we come over as a family dinner. Yes, the fish fries popping.
I got the red beans and rice. I got the gumbo, whatever you need. We good.
All right. Well, listen, Master P, we in New Orleans now, and listen, 4th of July weekend, I don't know if Essence is gonna happen or not, but we'll be over at your house, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Y'all welcome.
All right, y'all got to give it up for this man right here, man. I'm telling you, he is you may not be officially the mayor of New Orleans, but you are to us. Y'all got to give it up. Master P, everybody.
Hey.
Wake that ass up.
Get up and get turned up with DeDe in the morning.
We get wild a bit.